forecast for Wednesday, November 13th. So we have the moon in Aries all day. So this is putting a little bit of a pep in our step. We're definitely open to making changes, initiating new actions in order to create change and transformation. We are, in fact, still in Scorpio season. The moon in Aries energy has us a little bit with our ants in our pants, with restlessness. We want to take action and make moves. We're not allowed to do so because, again, we're in an ending, a closure of a chapter, and Mars currently sitting on the bench right now in Leo energy as this opposition to Pluto, again, kind of alleviates, freeing us up for that green light go ahead to take action and make moves. But what we're doing right now, we're sitting on the bench. We're thinking about the moves that we want to make. We're thinking about the new cultivation of passion, desire, of inspiration, motivation that, of course, we have to build up in order for us to have some long-lasting staying power to actually reach our goals. Now, today is actually a moon day, which is a very interesting dynamic. Wednesdays, typically speaking, are ruled over by Mercury. Mercury rules over the mental plane, rules over information, communication, how it is that we express ourselves. And a moon day means that all of the aspects, 7 of them, are involving the moon here today, which means that this is an opportunity to get emotionally aligned. So we're going to have some interesting dynamics pop off here today in order to provide us with new information, new emotions, new perspective on what needs to change, what needs to transform, what we want to do, what we want to pursue. The day begins with the moon in Aries energy making a very positive interaction with the sun in Scorpio energy. So the commonality here is Mars. Mars primarily rules over Aries energy, while co-rules over the Scorpio energy. The sun shining a very bright light in the Scorpio energy on what needs to end, what needs to die, what needs to be born, what needs to be brought to life, again, for true transformation to actually take place. The moon in Aries energy wants to rip that rearview mirror off. We don't want to look back. We only want to look forward. We want to look ahead, which is going to put us in a very good position to identify new wants, needs, desires that we're very passionate about actually getting. So this is going to illuminate for us, again, some clarity on what we have to put behind us in order to clear the space, in order for us to start building towards something new. The moon in Aries going to sextile, beautiful interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, blessings, who of course is retrograde in Gemini energy. This is going to be a beautiful clarity that comes into our awareness, realizing where it is that we have to do a little bit more work to close the door, to come to a certain point of acceptance, to come to a certain point of healing, growth, evolving away from what we were doing, how we were acting, what we were involved in order to, again, heal those wounds so that we're operating from a state of wholeness and that we can gain a little bit more perspective, a little bit more momentum on what our needs actually are. Again, as of late, we've been distracting ourselves with other things instead of actually focusing on what our basic needs actually are. Jupiter being retrograde in the Gemini energy is having us reflect back on old ideas, old thoughts, old opinions, on old situations and circumstances that we gained a lot of wisdom and knowledge that we can integrate, put into practice in the present moment, in the here and now, to avoid making some situations, some same mistakes, some same circumstances over and over again. The moon in Aries is going to come up to, bump into, team up with, conjunct Chiron shortly thereafter. Chiron is the wounded healer, retrograde in this Aries energy, helping us with this new branding, this new identity, this new version of self. A conjunction is just as much of an ending as it is a beginning, and we're putting a lot of the wounds behind us. Again, the moon in Aries ripping that rear view mirror off. We have no want, need, or desire to look back. We only want to focus on what is to come, what we actually have power and control over, what it is that we want to build and create. What we are kind of getting from this is an awareness on the fears, the doubts, the insecurities, the parts of self that aren't still feeling not safe, not so secure, not stable enough to actually move on, progress ourselves in a new path, in a new direction. So this is going to be, again, revealing clarity, revealing insights, revealing options and opportunities that we didn't even have to consider even a week ago. This is about growth, evolving, healing who it is that we are becoming. The moon is then going to make a harsh interaction with the sun. So again, we have the moon in Aries, the sun in Scorpio. This time they're not getting along. Why? Because the sun in Scorpio needs us to look back. We need to examine the choices, the decisions, the actions that we've taken in previous situations and circumstances that have led us to this moment. We have to understand what we don't like about this moment and the choices, decisions that we made in order to get us in this moment so that, again, we don't repeat the same patterns and behaviors. The dysfunction is that the moon in Aries has no want, need, or desire to look back, while the Scorpio energy needs us, again, the sun shining a huge light on where it is that we're coming from in order to understand where it is that we want to go. The moon is going to make a positive interaction with Uranus, the Great Awakener, who of course is retrograde in Taurus energy. This is going to help us be very definitive, very sure about what we're willing to cut off, what we're willing to close the door upon, what we're willing to let go of. Again, Uranus's whole point, being retrograde in this Taurus energy, is to illuminate the attachments, the connections that we still have with the old realm, the old reality, the old version of self that, again, we've outgrown, we're no longer resonating with, but we haven't been able to let go of. The moon is then going to make a positive interaction with Neptune, who is retrograde in his rulership in Pisces energy, which is going to revitalize, refresh, renew, regenerate our goals, our visions, our dreams. We are tapping into our higher selves. We are in touch with our intuition. We are hell-bent, damn well and determined on getting focused on the smaller details of that greater, grander vision and dream so that we can start figuring out how to plan, how to strategize on what needs to be done, what we have to take action upon, make moves upon in order to further our progress in a new path, in a new direction. The last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in Aries energy semi-squaring, creating a little bit of tension and conflict with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, who is retrograde in Pisces energy. And of course, this is going to illuminate where we're going through growing pains. And a lot of this is because the moon in Aries kind of wants to rush through things, wants to hurry up and decide, wants to hurry up and choose, hurry up and take action, hurry up and just get to our final destination. Well, the Saturn energy, of course, is showing us where it is that we have to slow things down, where we have to take our time, where we have to plan and strategize, where we have to remove the debris of the old in order to have a space, a clearing to build something new. And a lot of this is because, again, there's a restriction, a limitation, if you will, that comes with Saturn. And of course, we rebel against anything that is trying to hold us back with that Aries energy. So emotionally speaking, we're almost projecting ourselves too far into the future, while Saturn, on the other hand, specifically in this Pisces energy, is looking back. We're wrapping up a 30-year cycle. So it's pretty hard to advance ourselves into the future, to make some progress in a new path, in a new direction, when there are still karmic chapters that need to be wrapped up, need to be brought to a finality.